Howdy. Just a little recap of TFCon Toronto 2024. Had the chance to go this past weekend, and it's been quite a while since I've been to one of these things, and I've actually never been to a panel at one of these toy conventions or fan conventions. I've always just gone for the showroom, but this year they had Bob Budiansky and Simon Furman doing a panel together, as well as signing and taking pictures. And Mr. Budiansky was nice enough to do a chat on my channel some years back, and I really wanted to just thank him in person and see his panel with Mr. Simon Furman too. Huge fan of his writing, loved his run on the G1 comic. His words in the final issue of Transformers 80, "It never ends," have stuck with me for a long time, so I was really looking forward to meeting him in person too, and their panel was fantastic. But I stuck around for all the other panels too and had a blast. So I just want to say to anyone out there who just goes to these conventions strictly for the toys, because the turnout for TFCon, especially on the Saturday, was insane. The lineup, before they actually opened the showroom and started letting people in, went all the way down the hallway, all the way past the restaurant, looping through like the actual hotel. I've never been to that particular hotel for ToyCon several times. I've never actually walked all the way through the hotel because of a line before, so it was pretty spectacular. But the panels were well attended, but the showroom, I think, had way more people in it. So if you're the type of person who just goes to these shows strictly for the toys, just for the plastic and not the people, if there's a good lineup of guests, I would highly recommend going for the guests, because this year it was all about the guests for me. I picked up a few items here and there, but honestly, nothing comes close to meeting these brilliant creative people who made this property what it is today. So if you can go to TFCon Toronto next year, I highly recommend it. There's TFCons in the States too. There's one coming up in Baltimore later this year. Check out who the guests are for those, and go for the panels, for the Q&A panels, the presentations that they do in those panels, because they're so chill, they're so laid back, and it really feels like you're hanging out with them, even though you're one of the crowd, much more so than some of those humongous fan panels like at San Diego Comic-Con, where, you know, the people sitting in the chairs are like that big because you're so far back. It's really cool that they let people go up and ask questions. It really makes it feel interactive, even if you don't even ask a question. I just sat there and enjoyed every panel and didn't go up and ask a question, but I had a blast seeing passionate fans go up there and ask their questions to all of the different actors and writers and other creative people. I just got to say that everyone was just so classy. They talked to all the fans in such a wonderful way. If you're kind of burned out on the fandom because of what you see on the internet, what I saw in person at this past convention, because I went on the Saturday and then I came back for the Sunday too. There wasn't quite as many people on the Sunday, so got a little bit more time to just chat with all of the actors and the writers, hang out with them, not just get an autograph and a photo, but just shoot the breeze. But all of the guests this year were so nice and classy and professional. Another thing I really enjoyed was watching how they interacted with all of the fans. They were just such pure class. And you get a wide variety of people coming to these things, and it didn't matter who came up to them during a panel to ask a question or came up to one of their tables. As Terry McGovern says, well, they're professionals, but that is exactly what they are. Pure professional. It was really heartwarming to see just how professional and classy they were with everybody, and all of the fans as well. There wasn't, as far as what I saw, and I was around there quite a bit for the Saturday and the Sunday, there wasn't the slightest hint of bullying or elitism or gatekeeping or anything like you usually see on the internet. Now, I don't know if some of those types were actually there, but if they were there, they certainly didn't display the courage that they display from a safe distance on the internet. The whole vibe of the thing, if these things have a vibe, was really just happiness, fun, joy, love. Really, you could feel the love in the air. Because of the fans as well as the guest lineup that they had. I've heard from a few friends who went to this past year's Joe Fest and talked to some who went to last year's Joe Fest and talked about what a really not just fun experience it was, but the love was in the air at that festival too. And I wasn't able to make it to Joe Fest, but I feel like I got my Joe Fest with this past TFCon. Everyone was just so supportive and understanding that I can't imagine anyone trying to start anything at least at this particular event. It might happen at other places, but the overwhelming vibe of the whole thing was like everyone is free to love what they love here, and I don't remember ever seeing such a supportive, welcoming vibe at any event as this past one had. So I highly recommend checking out TFCon Toronto for the following year, and hopefully all of the other TFCons that run in the States are similar to that. And I'm definitely going to be checking out more of these if possible, the panels. That's what I'm really interested in. As far as the collecting stuff, I'm not really looking for anything, and I'm just kind of back to the old days of enjoying what's out there, window shopping, looking at the pictures on the websites, but I don't really, not hunting anything or hounding anything down. For me, it was all about connecting with the people who created these things and made them special. And that's the real joy and the thrill that I got. So yeah, definitely get out of the house, go outside, and go to one of these things, even if you don't have some friends to go with. I went solo this year because I knew, well, I'm probably going to be bumping into quite a few people who share common interests and common mindset, and I absolutely did. A few people were nice enough to come up and say they watch the videos and enjoy them, and Nerd Mistake, thank you very much. Appreciate hearing that and glad you enjoyed the videos. And then I was just chatting with complete strangers too. It was pretty cool. One of the guys that I sat down next to at the panel, one of the panels, and it ended up being a few panels, we just started talking Transformers. And he didn't know who I was and I didn't know who he was, but I told him a little bit about what I do, and he told me a little bit about what he does in Transformers fandom. And it was just cool to hang out with someone else. That's the cool thing about these conventions. Transformers is the common language that we all share, but I try to remember that it's the common language, but it doesn't have to be the only common topic that we talk about. You can talk about a wide range of other things, and I got to chat with most of the guests this year, and most of what we talked about wasn't Transformers at all. That was the foot in the door. But it was really cool talking to Victor Caroli about sunsets in Florida, and talking to Bob Budiansky about Sleepwalker. I love Sleepwalker, and he does too, and he probably doesn't get to talk about it very much. And to Simon Furman about the Euro Cup. Sorry about the Euro Cup there, Simon. But yeah, I highly recommend get out of the house. Don't let the internet be your only experience with the fandom, regardless of what fandom it is you're into, whether it's Transformers or G.I. Joe or He-Man or Star Wars or a little bit of everything like me. Don't let the internet be the only way that you enjoy that. Try to find a convention that's not just like a garage sale, something with a showroom that sells toys, but try to find one nearby, or take a trip and find one with a really good lineup of guests like TFCon Toronto had this past year. and mingle a little bit and chat. And you don't have to always spend a lot of money. You don't have to go in the hole in order to mingle with some of these people. Sometimes you can just strike up a really cool conversation with somebody while they're on their break, or, I mean, don't pester them, obviously, but, you know, they're legends, but they're also just normal, down-to-earth people. And I'm going to be showing you some of the interviews I got this past year and show you just how down-to-earth some of them are. So I hope you enjoy those interviews. I want to give a big thanks to everyone who gave me a few minutes for an interview at the con and just chatted, and for being so classy and cool. And big thanks to everyone who ran the event as well. I think you did an incredible job, and I'm really, really inspired just by the vibe you put out there, the emphasis of enjoying the hobby over the drama clicks that seems to be dominating the internet lately. All right, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and maybe see you at the next con.